beautiful world. This is Maureen from Quarantine, and I feel called to talk about serenity, especially today with all the trouble in the world. And it's important for us to maintain that inner sanction of peace. And in keeping with the peace and the serenity, on behalf of the kids who I have been giving platform to help be a part of the solution in the world, I will again post here now their information as to where one can go to be a part of the solution in the world today in terms of helping change laws that will enable us to help stop the police brutality and the violence in the world, among so many other things. So here now is the information as promised, and I will also incorporate this at the end of the podcast as well. Thank you for listening.
Communities of color across the nation are over-policed every day, which is one of the driving factors behind police brutality. And one of the reasons why they are over-policed is because members of the police and police stations across the country can obtain military-grade weaponry free of charge under the current program that we have in this country. So please support this bill to decrease the militarization of police. This government can no longer be allowed to use such weaponry against its own citizens. Thank you.
This factor, along with the need of extreme psychological testing, not only before the start of the police service, but throughout their time as police officers hired to protect and serve, can help support the beginning of the elimination process of random police beatings towards citizens of every walk of life. Thank you for listening.
Go to bit.ly/support in all lowercase, capital H, capital R, 1714 to support the Stop Militarizing Law Enforcement Act. There's a letter template that you can send to your House representative, as well as a link you can follow to find out who your House representative is, as well as a phone number to contact the head of the Armed Services Committee in Congress to ask him to put this bill forward. Thank you.
And here these kids are making this statement, these high schoolers already, on behalf of the Force for Good in the world. And of course, they're better enabling the world to know this peace, this serenity. Again, peace as part of that, part and parcel of the serenity. And so we maintain our peace and our serenity, which is our clearness. And it's the word is actually serene, which is Latin serenus, and the earliest use was mid-15C. And so this is the essence of this is the to again maintain that clear state of mind. Something about the word clear, and so how do we? Almost like a clear running stream. I know I do meditations, and it comes to me at times to I can fill my body with clear running water and allow all toxicity to leave, all darkness. And this can be done several times a day. So it's these visuals, the word clear again is important. And so to run clear, run clean. And again, it's that sense of tranquility, and it's a clear calm. And so let's remember that, especially though these times, again, in quarantine and chaos and police brutality and the protesting going on in the world, we don't negate that or deny that. But it's so important as we address those issues to come from a clear state of mind. And so, again, acceptance isn't easy when there's so much hostility in the world and fear and evil going on. And I must say there is much that indeed I will not accept. And but it is possible to have serenity and still be furious at the injustice in the world. In fact, it is imperative that we have a calm state of mind in order to choose our battles carefully and with a level head about us. And especially as we approach the world almost as really truly as warriors of peace and serenity. And to shine the light, to share the light, and to be that light. We don't go searching for it. We own it and share it. And so silence and meditation can guide us there into that right action, whatever it is that's needed for us to do. And again, I meditate before I do these podcasts so that indeed I have the wherewithal to be present and to be centered and to be calm and forthright and clear. And this oftentimes does mean sometimes when we have to address certain scenarios, we have to actually address evil. And it must be squelched. And we find this out too once we are grounded and centered enough to know, okay, even not just on a personal level, but on a global scale, we'll know when the timing is right. And there is true strength in this quiet meditation and in having this pure heart and this serene mind and soul, to go to our very soul with which to think with. And then we can think clearly and think things through. And then we approach reality. So we're not in some woohoo never land. We're here, we're present. And this, again, doesn't mean we will not have storms to weather, but rather we will have the wherewithal to walk through them and to be guided, and therefore we're made stronger. And we're able to maintain and shine that light even more so with a peaceful heart. I like to use my anger to be creative, and I say that a lot to remind myself of that. And this can be so healthy. And even when people attempt to intrude in your very personal space and disrupt your calm, and they do, one can, because that's not everybody is running clear and honest and clean. And so it's important to channel the anger that perhaps can occur and channel it into the answer, which of course is love, and that is what we create from, and this breeds more serenity. And this is in my own experience for many, many years. Again, I've been doing this consciously, one day at a time, sometimes one moment at a time, for 36 years. And it does work. And so I'm sharing this experience because it brings great inner peace and great joy. And it's so important, not just especially now, but always. And under our own roof and in our own home, to have that, to better be there and be of service on any level. And although when one pushes us to the point where we must address this evil, then we will be guided, and with the right action and the right words at the right time. The Dalai Lama says, "Don't let the behavior of others destroy your inner peace." So true, so true. So this is a great tool, and when you work it long enough, we practice, it becomes a way of life, so that nobody can enter that our inner sanctuary, though they try. And again, this doesn't mean that there is not a time nor a place to take action and to set others straight, or whatever it is we need to do. We will know, and but we must maintain our cool. Got to keep our cool. And stay cool, stay calm, And when we're in a place of serenity, our creativity in all arenas is not only enhanced, but we're tapped into the very life of life. And we can better use this. It's a quantum life force, and it can empower us, and we can be so creative for the force for good in the world. What was really kind of cool, and again, I always call upon music, and again, even in these heavy times, I see these great artists calling on the music and the comedy and all, and going to that force of love in the world. And we can find them everywhere. Chris Rock is out there making a statement, and so there's many, many ways to do this, and to go on and dance and make others smile, and let's change the energy. And there is a shift in energy, and so I recently received a post yesterday from Carlos Santana, who I love, and he said, "The living is easy when we live in the light." Isn't that cool? The living is easy when we live in the light. Doesn't mean we don't go through, again, as we are, heinous times in this world. But I love this. And he talks about the spiritual immune system, which I think is so cool. And what he says is spirituality is not who you worship, but the way in which you live your life. And I love that he says, too, the light wave of the future is compassion, mercy, kindness, caring, and these healing thoughts carry forth the ingredients to build the immune system, to restore wellness, to correct and bring harmony and unity in your molecular structure. How cool is that? So if we all go to this place, we can really continue to enhance the universe again, and through letting it begin through that very simple place of letting it start with oneself and one's serenity, peace, and not just to say the words or talk the talk, but you've got to live it until it becomes part of your very makeup. What's really cool is that this is that creative energy that has the wherewithal to truly move mountains. And when we are tapped into this, it is where all that beautiful art and music and world changers are operating out of. It's for the force for good in the world, that life force. And we must first have this source, this serenity, in order to enter into this realm of quantum energetic love. And it is the most powerful force in the world. And the good news is that the love will find us, and vice versa, when our hearts and souls are pure and innocent. And I know this firsthand. When our hearts are pure, we're tapped in. And when we're coming from that place, it's something that is, again, it's global, it's universal, and it's that peace that we feel. We don't even have to think it because we're experiencing it. As Gandhi said, peace is its own reward. And there'll always be a sense of the unknown that can at times disturb our serenity. But if we understand that at times we just don't know, and we may never know, to go to that place of it's okay right here, right now, and we can indeed find peace still, and we can be serene and have calmness in understanding that there is some unknown. And so to go to the place of remembering who we are, even though the times are troubling and they're dark, we must remember the light and carry on. And we can trust that this love, this light, is the most powerful source in the world. And I say it again, it's the world, the entire universe, the galaxies. We're all in this together. Mother Nature and all of us. So let's also remember here our serenity. And I'll say it again, our serenity, our peace, that inner quiet. It's slow, it's easy, it's calm, and even if we're feeling we're in such a dark place, and I know so many are, and I don't deny that. And so it's that sense of going, okay, let me allow the light to enter. And the beginning of serenity can enter also. It's the choice of saying, okay, all right. And then another great tool is to make sure that we are allowing ourselves also, even what we're putting in our bodies, our temple, proper nutrition. What are we giving our bodies? We're feeding our bodies this serenity. And what can go hand in hand with that is also the sunlight. Just as we care for the plants, let's care for ourselves and nourish and nurture one another, and of course our children. And this will always bring serenity. And we can teach the children this too. So it's so important to stop, just breathe and slow down. Slow it down. Easy does it. Think in terms of drinking a cup of tea. As silly as it might sound, slow it down. Make this an event of gratitude. If you can, find something to be grateful for in our midst. And even if it's the wherewithal to know, hey, there's something I can do to be a part of the solution in the world, to go to that place, and there will be a great calmness born here. I just shared a recipe with my sis for golden milk, and this is a great way to end the evening with serenity as well. And it's a source, and it's really an avenue to meditate with, or we can finish a nice meditation and look forward to that nice cup of golden milk at the end of the evening, and or any time at all you feel like it. It's just a beautiful vegan recipe that I have. I love going vegan, eating vegan, and just making cool drinks such as this one. It's filled with healthy turmeric and almond milk, and so I'll include this recipe also and directions in another podcast. As again, we must find actions, even if they seem all too simple, that are into the solution. I always go back to the solution. Let's take it back because we get going. And if you're at all intelligent, at times your mind will take off in other directions. And especially because times are, again, in great turmoil. Things are going on in the world. So these are just knowing that there are things we can do here and now, right here and now in quarantine, for ourselves and those around us. And perhaps there is someone you can bring a cup of tea to right now, or a child some hot cocoa, or make yourself that nice special golden milk, or make this a family serenity hour. And all kinds of ways to begin exactly where you are, exactly right here, right now, in the attainment of this serenity. When we incorporate these healthy recipes and moments, we're also filling our minds and souls along with our bodies with these healthy choices. And this is so much better, as sadly there are those who are indulging to the point of destruction with either drugs, alcohol, or a plethora of destructive things. Even sometimes it's vulgar dialogue or mindset, or they're attacking, or they're abusive, and they're filled with toxicity of which we want none. And they try to put that on others, and they're in that dark, dark place. And so that not only eliminates any kind of serenity, but it breeds major chaos and darkness. So let's remember to take action on behalf of what seems like the little things. These are the healthy things. Make the healthy choice as well. Mentally, physically, intellectually, philosophically, all the way across the board. Let's make the healthy choice together. A lot of people aren't sleeping well either, again, due to the stress and anxiety, and I've just spoken to so many people that are in that boat, and so it's natural, again, to feel this way and to feel the fear of all that's going on in the world. And so Again, these actions that we're taking to combat stress in a world that really is in great, great pain. So I don't mean to take away from that, but to go back to the solution. And this will also help enable one to sleep, perhaps even a little cozier at night. And to help the kids sleep a little cozier at night here, because so many people, they're not sure when they're going back to work or when the kids are going to school, and let alone the major things in terms of, the not just the virus, but the protesting and brutality and the way the world is changing now. And so we can, once we're in that place of peace and serenity, we can better do what needs to be done, and on a global scale as well, if need be, if we're called to. And when we're called, and we're better equipped then to be there in that state of calm. And when we're equipped to acquire this serenity, it becomes our very way of life, and to the point where, though others again may try to shake one's foundation with their darkness, we are so grounded in our hearts and our souls and this way of life that it does indeed give us the grace to stand strong in our serenity. And so I say, don't let anyone steal your serenity, your light, your peace of mind. Stand strong with that great heart and soul and love and light, and make this so unshakable that evil cannot enter. And we remain with a deep inner calm and joy. And so the word stress and anxiety comes up a lot, as we know, and for good reason. As just about everybody, again, experiences this from time to time. And obviously in the midst of this, again, there were just a couple of days ago, somebody also mentioned, again, more of the police brutality. And the world is so full of this fear and this stress. And so just when we think we've had enough, or it's too much, again, there's more, and it's happening again. And so I try sometimes to tune out of the news because it's so overwhelming. And so then I hear somehow we get the information and we learn. And so I send out the beautiful energy and the beautiful vibes, but it doesn't mean it doesn't break our hearts. And so we can use these tools that we have here to always go to the solution again and again, and back to the moment. Though, again, this tragic scenario that's taking place, again, with the brutality, quarantine, so much of it, we can still go back to the moment, go back to the serenity right now, this moment in time. And though it's, again, excruciatingly difficult sometimes, we must not avoid reality. We are better able to be of service to ourselves and those about us when we have a calm disposition. And this does take great practice, great practice. Sometimes it's, and I see people just giving up or throwing the towel in. And so in the long run, it's better, it's easier to practice. And practice. It's a muscle that has to be worked, as the saying goes, Even if you have to remember, how do you get to Carnegie Hall? You practice. And I don't say that as a joke, but to remind ourselves now, right now again. Practice this right now. Don't wait. And if we fall off course, we need little reminders such as Carnegie Hall and practice. It'll nudge us, give us a little nudge, and we remind each other, let's remember, practice peace right now. Practice the serenity. And again, it'll become a way of life. And perhaps you may not master this, but you can become, or you may not even become a master, but you can become at peace. You can become calmer And even if it's better than it was, that's something, and we're moving in that direction. So you will experience moments of serenity in the midst of these heinous times that we're in when we go to that serene place of meditation, the solution, the love. And this is the only way, by the way, to serenity. Love. So I'll say it again. It's love. And so in the midst of this quarantine again, and with the police brutality and the protests and extreme unrest in the world, and it affecting people to the point where I know even on a personal level I've seen behavior, very bad behavior. And so I have to say, let's all wake up. Wake up. This is life. It's in session. And I'll say it again, wake up. Life is here right now, and the answer is not found in acquiring more security, or especially at the expense of others. We must help one another. And that's how we help ourselves. So, this love and the serenity, it does not make one weak. It doesn't. People think, oh, they're weak because they're calm and serene. In fact, it's just the opposite, as we're empowered on a huge scale. When we're calm and at peace and serene, we're empowered. When we're coming from love, the universe is working with us. We've got the power of the universe behind us. And we're empowered. We're in this quantum field of energy that's universal, this life force. It's guiding us right now, moment to moment. And this moment again. And this moment again. And so we keep going. And we don't let those or that darkness squelch us. Cannot, must not do that. Keep that muscle sharp, toned, and practice. Do what needs to be done to get to that place. And easy does it. Again, my beautiful sister sent me this beautiful beach towel the other day for my birthday. And it was the birthday, too, that I celebrated 36 years of one day at a time, walking this walk, not just talking the talk, on this path through that universal life force. Again, I'm not saying that to celebrate myself. I have to keep saying that because I say it to share that it's a real deal and it really can be done. That we can tap into that life force, and we will be guided one day at a time, and stay in this place and be grounded here. And so this beach towel she sent me was this other reminder. We remind one another to remember the turtle. The turtle goes nice and slow and easy. And there's this cool little turtle actually it's a big turtle on this towel. And so it's slow down, go easy, or we'll text each other, remind me, the turtle. Slow it down. And the turtle also represents wisdom and really many cool elements. So, and I took this cool beach towel with me to the beach with my daughter the other day. And in the midst of all the chaos in the world, we stopped for this beautiful, serene picnic. And we sat on this turtle blanket and simply gained more serenity and peace, and had a beautiful, nourishing meal, and just sat there keeping it simple, peace of mind by the ocean, and sharing these moments. And though it seems simple, we're better equipped to go back to being of service or whatever it is we're doing because we've shared these moments. And by practicing love, again, moment to moment. And like the turtle, slow it down. Be wise like the turtle also. So many great elements too. And reminders that we can have. And together, again, my daughter and I were both even better for having stopped for that moment long enough to be here and now. And be here and now again. And again. So remember the turtle if you like. To slow down, and easy does it. And go easy on yourselves. Let's go easy on ourselves. And so just this day, that's it, from here. Just this day, right here. And then we go from here to there. And what's the next indicated thing in front of us? And we can think even more clearly. And we give this gift to the kids, and then my daughter's better equipped to think and think clearly as she prepares for college now. And then to have that serenity, and then to act from this place of very clear vision, sharp. I also love searching nature, all different aspects of nature. A friend of mine and I today were talking about going to the forest and forest. They have forest baths and things like that you can do to just. I don't suggest you get lost in the forest, though, may I add, but just to go to different places in nature. And I look there for my serenity at times, or I go there to get in touch with it because I know it's already there. I don't go searching for it. And it's already in me. That's the good news. I don't have to search outside, although I like to tap into nature to discover what is inside. And the answer, again, is in the answer. And it's in the answer. It's in the solution. And so the good news is, again, we don't have to search. And so I'm at peace and serene in this sense of, it's a sense of being there. If you get a chance, there's a great movie called Being There Too, and some beautiful dialogue and beautiful life lessons actually in that movie from back in the day, Peter Sellers. And again about nature and the garden, so worth checking out. So again, we go to the art, the music, and now and in quarantine, and find the resources, the art, and others that have gone before us, the writers. And so even if it seems small, it can be something that can turn out to be life-changing. I like to look at these smallest details of a blade of grass even, or sift my fingers through the sand at the beach, and I watch my footprints in the sand as I walk along the shore. And suddenly, amidst these moments, I'm not only granted these wonderful, serene, this wonderful serenity, but oftentimes with this serenity and these serene moments, I'm experiencing massive revelations. So let's listen to nature. I listen to nature, and let's learn from her and be in the moment. The Sanskrit serenity prayer comes in handy too, and that's another reminder when we're looking for words perhaps that are into the solution rather than the problem, and or if somebody's bombarding us with their horrible words that are coming to them, and we don't want that. We need to shield ourselves from other people's words too. They can be abrasive and ill-mannered and attacking and full of insults or what have you. People sadly are that way. We don't want to deny that reality, that does happen. And sometimes we see it again, where it's coming, we can be in a completely serene place, and we thought it came out of nowhere, and there it is, this abrupt toxicity. And so, again, these good words are empowering the Sanskrit prayer here, and back to that solution, and rather than that problem and that stress and that anxiety. So, again, it's grant us the serenity to accept those things that we can't change. And so sometimes I break it down word by word, and courage to change those things we can. I'll go word by word, or I'll say it in different ways or different rhythms so that it's not just verbiage, but actually really making it my own and not just a trite prayer, if you will, or just some words, but to really have those words have energy underneath them, and emotion and passion and truth. Otherwise, they're flat. They're just words, and there's nothing for them to, as it were, float on. And if it's not a calm, clear lake, if you will, underneath it, there's, what are they floating on? Chaos, and it's not, they're not really sinking in. So we must come from that place, and if our hearts are pure, that we can gather this and the wisdom to know the difference. So, and sometimes there are things we do need to change, and again, and the wisdom. Let's find that within ourselves, and we can learn from our mentors, and be willing to be open for the infinite possibilities, and be ever changing and ever learning. So, again, practice. Do not fall prey to those who attempt, perhaps, to bring us down, and or we see it happening with good people. And so this empowers us to know that there is nothing more powerful than the love and the life force. And so we go in knowing and not being oblivious to evil in the world. So that's important, and to, again, teach the children that. And breathe. And breathe, and I say that again, because the breathing is a big part of it. Whatever it is we're going through, to perhaps it'll help to concentrate on one's breath. And I was talking earlier about the tea or the tea party, and to stop in the silence, and maybe with the tea to take the breath, and to even go to the place of using your senses and your nose and going to smell the tea, the aroma. That'll put us better in the moment. And it's a new moment again, and a new moment again with whatever it is we're doing. Even now, I'm in the moment, and here's this moment, and now again. And it brings me inner peace and joy, and it's a feeling of knowing we're guided right here, right now, and it is a we thing. And in this serenity, we can be vessels of inspiration. And while this quarantine is going on and the protesting is surrounding us, we can still be of service, and therein we can be the change, as Gandhi said, that we'd love to see in the world today. And so we're not just talking, we're living it. And already there is this great energy moving through the universe. And when we're sensitive, we're tapped in, and we can feel it, and the dark, chaotic, evil energy is shriveling up. So I say, shine on, my friends. Let's keep shining the light. Keep shining. Keep going. Keep going. Keep shining. Stay the course. And these high schoolers are staying the course, and I will keep the platform here for them, and they will incorporate the information again that I shared at the beginning of the podcast right here and right now as they carry on shining the light.
Communities of color across the nation are over-policed every day, which is one of the driving factors behind police brutality. And one of the reasons why they are over-policed is because members of the police and police stations across the country can obtain military-grade weaponry free of charge under the current program that we have in this country. So please support this bill to decrease the militarization of police. This government can no longer be allowed to use such weaponry against its own citizens. Thank you.
This factor, along with the need of extreme psychological testing, not only before the start of the police service, but throughout their time as police officers hired to protect and serve, can help support the beginning of the elimination process of random police beatings towards citizens of every walk of life. Thank you for listening.
Go to bit.ly/support in all lowercase, capital H, capital R, 1714 to support the Stop Militarizing Law Enforcement Act. There's a letter template that you can send to your House representative, as well as a link you can follow to find out who your House representative is, as well as a phone number to contact the head of the Armed Services Committee in Congress to ask him to put this bill forward. Thank you.
So we thank you for listening on behalf of that force for good in the world, and not only speaking the language of the heart, but sharing these brilliant young minds and the passion with which they're going out to help change this world and make it a beautiful, beautiful place. And right here, right now, let's take it back to our hearts. Let's back to that place of innocence, purity, all the kindness in the world. And I'm sending it out now in the midst of all of the troubles in the world, I'm sending out the love and clear. And as Lao Tzu said, make your heart like a lake with a calm, still surface and great depths of kindness. Stay safe, stay well, world. This is Maureen from Quarantine, and I'm signing off just for now.